Impossible movies in order chronologically and by release. It has been more than 25 years since the first Mission Impossible film hit theaters. The spy series has only grown more popular over the years, as evidenced by the sixth installment, Mission Impossible Fallout, becoming the highest-grossing film in the franchise. Mission Impossible has enjoyed an incredible lead in Tom Cruise, whose hard work has gained him recognition as one of the world's greatest movie stars. Update January 5, 2025. This article has been updated with additional content and information about the fan-favorite action franchise. The franchise originally showed no signs of stopping, but after the disappointing box office of Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 and the next entry in the electrifying series being delayed to May 23, 2025, the franchise might be calling it a day soon. But with more than 25 years of Mission Impossible films, it can be overwhelming for a newcomer to keep track of them all. Whether you're new to the franchise or have been a lifelong fan, here's a handy list of all Mission Impossible movies in chronological and release order. All Mission Impossible movies in chronological order. Mission Impossible 1996, Mission Impossible 2, 2000, Mission Impossible 3, 2006, Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, 2011, Mission Impossible Rogue Nation, 2015, Mission Impossible Fallout, 2018, Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, 2023, Mission Impossible The Final Reckoning, 2025, Mission Impossible 1996. The film that started it all, Mission Impossible, was directed by Brian De Palma, the director behind Carrie, Scarface, and The Untouchables. The action extravaganza introduced Cruise as Impossible Mission's force agent Ethan Hunt, who was framed for the murder of the rest of his team. It was the first Mission Impossible film that featured the iconic sequence of Ethan descending into a vault, just barely avoiding touching the floor that would have resulted in catastrophic failure. Fans loved the remake, but the original stars loathed it. Serving as a continuation for the popular 60s espionage series of the same name, Mission Impossible firmly established Cruise as one of Hollywood's most fearless action heroes and dominated the box office, grossing over $457 million worldwide and paving the way for future installments. Though it proved to be a massive hit with moviegoers and has attracted a passionate fan base, the silver screen reimagining did not impress cast members of the original show, with star Greg Morris disliking it so much he left the theater early and called it an abomination. Stream on Paramount Plus. Mission Impossible 2, 2000. Mission Impossible 2 saw Ethan Hunt embark on a new mission to stop a biological weapon from being released. Hunt teamed up with professional thief Nia Nordhoff, Thandai Newton, the former partner of the rogue IMF agent Sean Ambrose, Doug Ray Scott, who possessed the weapon and wants to use the genetically modified disease for his own nefarious purposes. Cruise's impressive box office achievement. Mission Impossible 2 was the highest-grossing film of 2000, beating out fellow blockbuster releases Gladiator and Castaway by raking in over $546 million and garnering appreciation for its pulse-pounding action sequences and director John Woo's masterful vision. The sequel marked the last time that Cruise has starred in the top-earning film of the year, though the famous leading man did come close to repeating the action flick's financial success when he appeared in the smash hit Top Gun: Maverick. Stream on Paramount Plus. Mission Impossible 3, 2006. Ethan came out of retirement in Mission Impossible 3 when a powerful arms dealer, Philip Seymour Hoffman, emerged to threaten everything he held dear. The film introduced Michelle Monaghan as Julia Mead, a nurse who became Ethan's fiancée and, simultaneously, a target for the film's villain. Mission Impossible 3 was also the film that introduced Simon Pegg as Benji Dunn, who appeared in every installment afterward. Third time's the charm for Cruise. Mission Impossible 3 failed to reach the financial success of its predecessors, but nonetheless grossed over $399 million during its theatrical run, with critics praising the intricate stunt work, gripping screenplay, and character development while regarding it as an improvement over previous entries. The stellar performance from Philip Seymour Hoffman as Hunt's formidable foe Owen Davian was also singled out, and fans credited director J.J. Abrams with bringing a new and refreshing energy back to the franchise. Stream on Paramount Plus. Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol, 2011. The fourth film in the Mission Impossible franchise, Ghost Protocol harked back to the franchise's beginnings by having Ethan blamed for another crime he did not commit. Following a mission gone wrong, the U.S. president initiated Ghost Protocol, which ordered the immediate shutdown of the Impossible Missions force. Ethan formed a team with Benji and new member William Brandt, played by Jeremy Renner. In spite of the shutdown, desperate to clear their names and prevent a nuclear war, Ghost Protocol garners both critical and commercial acclaim. Mission Impossible Ghost Protocol marked a turning point in the action-packed series, as the film and future installments started to grow in esteem and became more favorably reviewed by critics. The sequel earned an at-the-time franchise-high Rotten Tomatoes score of 93% after previously receiving a lukewarm response from reviewers. Ghost Protocol also showcased Renner's physical prowess and talents as an action star, as he would go on to play Clint Barton/Hawkeye a year later in the MCU blockbuster The Avengers. Stream on Paramount Plus. Mission Impossible Rogue Nation 2015. 2015's Rogue Nation was the first Mission Impossible film directed and written by Christopher McQuarrie, who went on to direct and write Fallout, Dead Reckoning Part 1, and the now titled Mission Impossible 8. Rogue Nation featured new antagonists in the Syndicate, a terrorist organization that sought to establish a new world order. Rebecca Ferguson made her winning debut as Ilsa Faust in Rogue Nation, becoming one of the franchise's main characters. Cruise shows off his daredevil stunt work. Cruise continued, demonstrating his daredevil ways, with one death-defying stunt after another, famously being suspended on the side of a flying Airbus A400M Atlas without the help of a stunt double, while also training with a diving specialist so he could successfully hold his breath for 3 minutes for a daring underwater sequence, allegedly doing so for 6. Fans flocked to theaters to see what crazy stunt Cruise would do next, helping the exciting sequel gross $688.9 million and dominate the box office. Stream on Paramount Plus. Mission Impossible Fallout 2018. Not only was Mission Impossible Fallout the highest-grossing film in the franchise, but it was also the best-reviewed film in the franchise. In this installment, the Syndicate are back and planning to simultaneously explode plutonium cores over 3 different cities, prompting Hunt and his determined team to once again rally together to stop a potentially catastrophic event. Fallout UPS the ante with elaborate action sequences. The film reunited cast members Cruise, Ving Rhames, Peg Ferguson, and Michelle Monaghan. Fallout additionally starred Henry Cavill as August Walker, an ally of Ethan's who was eventually found to be the villainous John Lark. Cruise performed the epic Halo jump over Paris, one of the movie's 3 main action sequences, 106 times, falling at whopping speeds of 200 to 220 miles per hour from 25,000 to 30,000 feet high, thus showing longtime fans that he had no intentions of slowing down and playing it safe in the thrilling franchise. Stream on Paramount Plus. Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1, 2023. Mission Impossible Dead Reckoning Part 1 was Cruise's first film after the monumental success of Top Gun Maverick in 2022. Marketing for the 7th installment in the Mission Impossible series saw IMF's most dangerous mission yet, as Ethan comes face-to-face with new enemies like the powerful AI rogue agent known as the Entity, a weapon that threatens the very future of the human race. Dead Reckoning faces tough box office competition. Henry Czerny notably reprised his role as former IMF director Eugene Kittredge after having been absent from the franchise since the first film back in 1996. Vanessa Kirby also returned to her role from Mission Impossible Fallout as Alana Mitsopoulos/White Widow, with new cast members including Haley Atwell, Esai Morales, and Palm Clemente. Dead Reckoning Part 1 faced stiff competition at the box office, going head-to-head with the cultural phenomenon Barbenheimer, and unfortunately becoming a financial disappointment, grossing just $570.6 million against its hefty $291 million budget. Stream on Prime Video. Mission Impossible The Final Reckoning 2025. Paramount originally scheduled the release of Mission Impossible The Final Reckoning for summer 2024. However, after the 2023 SAG-AFTRA actors' strike halted production, the film, along with several other long-awaited sequels like Dune Part 2, were pushed back, with The Final Reckoning now being slated to hit theaters on May 23, 2025, with a whopping estimated budget of $400 million. The highly anticipated sequel is one of the most expensive movies ever made. Cruise and Ethan Hunt aren't going anywhere, despite Variety previously reporting that the film would be a send-off for Cruise's Ethan Hunt character. In 2022, Cruise himself expressed his desire to continue portraying the iconic hero despite The Final Reckoning initially being touted as a send-off for Hunt. After witnessing the enduring fanfare Harrison Ford received from his unforgettable work in the Indiana Jones franchise, Cruise expressed his desire to follow in the silver screen staple's footsteps and keep defying gravity with daring stunts. He told the Sydney Morning Herald in 2023,